Welcome back to the channel Golden Hyra coin lovers and treasure hunters. Today we are going deep into the fascinating world of United States coins, and the spotlight is shining bright on one coin that looks ordinary at first glance but hides an incredible history, surprising value, and an unbelievable story that can put serious money in your pocket. We are talking about the 1990p Liberty $quarter coin, a piece of American history that today can reach market values of up to $442, depending on its rarity, condition, and special features. Yes, you heard that right, a simple quarter that many people once tossed into vending machines or parking meters could now be worth more than $400 in the hands of collectors. Now let us begin with the background of this coin. The Liberty Quarter, officially known as the Washington Quarter, has been a staple of United States currency since 1932. It was first introduced to honor the 200th anniversary of the birth of George Washington, the first President of the United States. On the obverse of the coin, you will find the bold profile of Washington facing left, with the word Liberty shining proudly above his head, the motto "In God We Trust" to the side, and the year of mintage clearly displayed at the bottom. On the reverse, for the coins minted in 1990, the design still carried the heraldic eagle with outstretched wings, arrows, and olive branches, symbolizing the strength, power, and peace of the nation. This design remained unchanged from 1932 all the way up until 1998, when the United States Mint began releasing the famous 50-state quarters program. Now, what makes the 1990p $quarter special is not just its design but also its place in history. The P mint mark stands for Philadelphia, one of the most important and oldest mint facilities in the United States. In 1990, millions of quarters were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, but here is the important thing to remember. While millions were made, not all coins are created equal. Some carry errors, some have pristine mint conditions known as mint state or proof-like qualities, and some have survived decades without scratches, circulation wear, or damage. These are the coins collectors dream about, and these are the coins that today can be worth hundreds of dollars. Let us talk about the value. Most circulated 1990p quarters are still worth just 25 cents. You might find them in your pocket change, and they would not seem special at all. But in the world of numismatics, condition is everything. A 1990p Liberty quarter in circulated condition is common, but an uncirculated coin with sharp details, blazing luster, and no scratches can fetch premium prices. According to coin market sales and auction records, top quality examples have been sold for over $400, and some pristine specimens have gone even higher. Imagine finding a coin like that hiding inside an old jar, in a family collection, or in a coin roll from your local bank. Collectors also chase after varieties and minting errors. The 1990p quarter can sometimes feature misstrikes, doubling on the lettering, off-center strikes, weak strikes, or other rare mint errors that increase its value dramatically. Error coins are a hot trend in coin collecting, and a unique error on your 1990 quarter can turn that small piece of change into a major payday. Now let us place this coin in the timeline of American money. By 1990, the United States Mint was still using the traditional eagle reverse, but plans were already underway to revamp the design for the upcoming state quarter series. This makes the 1990p quarter one of the last examples of the classic eagle reverse that had been in circulation for nearly 70 years. For collectors, that gives this coin even more historical importance because it represents the final chapter of a long-running design before the major shift that came in 1999. But the story of the quarter is also the story of America itself. Think about it, quarters have been used in everything from payphones to arcade machines, from laundromats to toll booths. They are a symbol of everyday American life. And yet, within that ordinary coin lies extraordinary value, if only you know what to look for. That is why coin hunting is such an exciting adventure. Every coin in your hand could be a hidden treasure, every old jar could be a gold mine, and every roll of quarters from your bank could be holding a gem worth hundreds of dollars. Now here is the big question. How do you know if your 1990p Liberty quarter is worth serious money? First, check the condition. If it has been heavily circulated, scratched, or worn down, it is most likely just worth its face value. But if it has sharp details, a glossy surface, and appears almost brand new, it could be worth grading. Professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can authenticate the coin and assign it a grade from 1 to 70. High-grade coins, especially those in mint state 65 and above, are where the true value lies. Second, always check for errors. Look at the lettering, the mint mark, and the edges of the coin. If anything looks unusual, like doubling, off-centered images, or unusual textures, you may have a valuable mint error in your hands. Third, pay attention to collectors' demand. Right now, coins from the 1990s are becoming more and more popular because people who grew up in that decade are starting to collect. Nostalgia plays a big role in the coin market, and that means the value of coins like the 1990p quarter will likely continue to rise in the coming years. So imagine this. A coin that was struck in Philadelphia in 1990, a coin that millions of people carried in their pockets for everyday use, a coin that many would never think twice about, could today sell for hundreds of dollars. And that is the magic of coin collecting. It is not just about money. It is about history, about stories, about holding a piece of the past in your hand and discovering the hidden value that others overlooked. If you have a 1990p Liberty quarter, do not let it go without checking it carefully. Look at its condition, search for possible errors, and if it looks promising, consider having it graded. You could be holding a treasure worth hundreds of dollars, and you might not even realize it. So the next time you find a quarter in your change, remember this video. Because that small coin, the one you thought was just worth 25 cents, might actually be worth $442 or more in the collector's market. And that is why the 1990p Liberty $quarter coin remains one of the most fascinating finds in modern American coinage. A symbol of history, a reminder of value hidden in plain sight, and a powerful reason why coin hunting is one of the most exciting hobbies you can ever explore. Would you like me to make this script even longer with repeated calls to action for viewers, like, don't forget to subscribe, and keep checking your change, to maximize YouTube audience retention? Today we are diving deep into the fascinating world of American coins, and we are going to uncover the story of the Liberty $quarter minted in 1993 with the Philadelphia Mint Mark P. This is a coin that at first glance may look like just an ordinary quarter you might receive in your change at a grocery store, but if you know the details, the history, the condition, and the rarity factors, you may realize that this little piece of metal can be worth much more than its face value, and in some cases, it can reach an astonishing market value as high as $442. Now let us begin with the history of the quarter itself. The $quarter has been a central part of American coinage for decades, and in 1993 the United States Mint continued the Washington Quarter series, which was first introduced in 1932 to honor the bicentennial of George Washington's birth. The design features the powerful portrait of George Washington on the obverse side facing left with the word Liberty inscribed above his head and the motto "In God We Trust" on the left-hand side. Below his portrait you will see the minting year, which in our case is 1993, and directly beside it, depending on where it was minted, you may find a mint mark such as the P for Philadelphia, which is what we are talking about today. On the reverse side of the 1993 quarter you will see the majestic American bald eagle with its wings spread wide, clutching arrows in its talons, symbolizing strength and readiness to defend our nation. Below the eagle is an olive branch representing peace. Together, this imagery powerfully reminds us of the balance between strength and peace, which has always been an American value. This design continued until the late 1990s, before the state quarter program revolutionized the way Americans collected quarters and reignited interest in everyday pocket change. But why is the 1993p quarter special, and why is it that some collectors are willing to pay hundreds of dollars for what many people think is just a 25-cent piece? Well, let's break it down. First, we have to consider the minting numbers and rarity. In 1993, the Philadelphia Mint struck over 600 million quarters, which means the coin itself is not rare in circulation. However, the condition of the coin is what really separates an average quarter from a valuable treasure. If your quarter has been in circulation for years, showing scratches, wear, and fading details, it might only be worth face value. But if you come across one in mint state condition with sharp details bright luster, and little to no signs of handling, that coin immediately jumps in value. Professional coin grading services such as PCGS and NGC evaluate coins on a 70-point scale. Coins graded at MS60 are considered uncirculated but may have some blemishes, while coins graded MS65 or higher are considered gem quality, which means they are extremely attractive to collectors. A 1993p quarter graded at MS67 or higher is very difficult to find, and when such a coin does appear on the market, collectors compete to own it, driving the price up dramatically. That is why certain examples of the 1993p Liberty quarter have sold for over $400, with the highest reaching around $442. Another important factor to consider is errors. Error coins are those that have mistakes from the minting process, such as doubled dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or weak strikes. A 1993p quarter with a clear mint error can command extraordinary prices, especially if it is well preserved. Some error coins have been sold for many multiples of their regular value because collectors love coins that tell a unique story about how they were made. Now let us take a closer look at the market demand. The 1993p quarter sits in a transitional period in American coin collecting. This was just a few years before the famous state quarter program launched in 1999, which brought millions of new collectors into the hobby. Because of this, coins from the early 1990s are sometimes overlooked in circulation. But smart collectors know that these are the coins to grab and hold onto, especially if they are in high mint state grades or show special characteristics like toning or unique luster. Imagine holding a coin that was minted over 30 years ago, still shining as if it just left the press. This is not just money, this is a piece of American history carrying the image of the first president, the national bird, and symbols of both peace and power. When you realize that people are willing to pay $400 or more for such a coin, you begin to understand how fascinating this world truly is. So the next time you come across a handful of change, do not just toss it aside. Take a moment to look closely at your quarters. Look for the date 1993 and the P mint mark. Check the condition. Are the details sharp? Can you see the hairlines on Washington's portrait clearly? Are the feathers on the eagle distinct and crisp? If yes, you might just be holding a coin that could be worth far more than 25 cents in. Summary: the 1993p Liberty quarter dollar is a coin with both historical significance and modern collector value. While most of them will only be worth face value, those rare examples in mint state or with errors can fetch hundreds of dollars, with the top examples reaching around $442. This is why collectors are constantly searching coin rolls, checking pocket change, and building their collections, because you never know when a valuable coin could appear in your hands. So friends, keep your eyes open. Treasure hunters never underestimate the power of a single coin, because history and value can often be hidden in plain sight. Would you like me to expand this script even further with storytelling elements, like including comparisons to other years of quarters and why the 1993p stands out, so your video runs even longer?